Eugene Onegin, my good friend, was raised along the Neva's shore, where you perhaps were also born. There too I've wasted time away, walking and wandering back and forth, till I grew ill living up north. Like most who live life honestly, his father fell deeply in debt. He gave 3 balls a year regardless, until his money all was spent. Fate kept Eugene safe and protected. Madame made sure not to neglect him. And then Monsieur took on the child, a delightful lad, though somewhat wild. Monsieur, a feeble fellow, to spare the child from fatigue, kept the boy's lessons light and brief, his moralizing ever mellow. Naughtiness earned a light remark, and then a walk in Letney Park. But when rebellious adolescence at last arrived for our Eugene, that age of hope, desire, and sadness, Monsieur L'Abbe was shown the street. Eugene at last emancipated, to latest fashions liberated. Like London dandies, now he's dressed. With him the world at last is blessed. Flawless French he could conduct a conversation and also write. In the mazurka he was light, adept at casual clever banter, or through a serious debate. In solemn silence he could wait, his bow was genuine people who'd ask for more, they all agreed that he was witty and charming. What invitations? Yes, 3 houses have asked you to evening soirees. There'll be a ball, a children's party. Where will I run to, my good hearty? Where to begin, where first to call? That's easy, I'll attend them all. He's off to talents calculating that he will find Kavarin waiting. He's there, a cork goes flying up. Comet wine pours into their cups, and truffles youthful luxury, the fairest flowers of French cuisine. The theater's full, the boxes glimmer, the stalls and pit begin to simmer. The impatient gallery, growing bored, greets the rising curtain with a roar. Then in unearthly brilliant splendor, bound where the magic bow would send her, a throng of nymphs at her command. Istomina takes her stand, while all the cupids on the stage still cry, while servants sleep on their fur coats outside, and while the people still are clapping, still coughing, sniffling, hissing, snapping. Eugene has hurried from the mess, by now he's driving home to dress. All that for human women comfort, careful London consents to export and ship across the Baltic seas to trade for tallow and portrees. All that the scrupulous Parisian of polished taste and solid skill invents for those with time to kill. All this belongs now to our dear philosopher of tender years. But never mind these foolish trifles, I'd do much better to describe Onegin as he swiftly rifles toward the ball, a rapid ride. When fervent dreams and dissipations entranced me, still I loved a ball. No better place for declarations and passing notes than in the hall. So much of life it seems I've squandered on pleasures sweet but now far gone. Yet if they did not make us wander, I even now would worship balls. I love you's restless, reckless madness, the crush, the glitter and the gladness. The ladies beautifully arrayed, I love their feet though I'm afraid that in all Russia you won't find 3 pairs of shapely feet. And yet for so long I could not forget 2 special feet. And even though my soul is tired and getting old, they keep my heart from growing cold. At the ball, at the ball, at the ball, at the ball. He quickly learned how to dissemble, to hide his hopes, feign jealousy, make her believe, pretend to tremble, display a dark melancholy, act dutiful, fully submissive, before becoming non-responsive. languid silence he'll remain, and then express a love in flame. In careless letters of confession, he reveals secrets of his heart. How self-oblivious his art, his rapid glance shows such affection. He can be fresh and innovative, and easily astound the young. Flatter the proud through flowery praises, or frighten with his fiery tongue. He'll catch a momentary weakness to overcome tender innocence. Through fervent ardor, wit and such, he'll win her sweet reluctant touch. He'll then demand a declaration and listen for the first heartbeat. Pursue his love and soon set and secure a secret assignation. Is he happy with the treasure, the freedom of his youthful days? With all his triumphs and the ways he spends his time pursuing pleasure? Or is he decadent and hale amid his feasts to no avail? Yes, early on he lost all feeling, grew tired of incessant noise, and ladies he once found appealing no longer bring him any joy. His lovers all seem overbearing, old friends in friendship now are wearing, for in the end he couldn't drain an endless bottle of champagne, and he at last was overfed with intrigue words, the sword and lead. My uncle, a stern and solemn man, by falling ill he was awarded the respect his dignity demanded. The first and only time afforded, an example left for you and me. But goodness, what monotony to sit with a sick man night and day, without the prospect of escape. How sordid and how vile it is to entertain the nearly dead, to fix the covers on his bed, sullenly give him medicine, muttering under every sigh, "Uncle, when will you finally die?" stayed at Uncle's bed, waiting for acreage from the dead. Prepared to sigh, cry, and delude, I did what dutiful nephews do. I won his home and property soon. Loved the rural scenery, was glad at first, having acquired something of which I'd not yet tired. For 2 full days I did enjoy secluded fields and gentle streams. The orchard's shade I oft employed for respite, slumber, summer dreams. But by the third I'd had my fill. The meadows, groves, the scenic hill no longer could captivate me. It was the same monotony. Capricious bells of noble breeding, they were the first ones I forswore. For nowadays their pure and pious manners are an awful bore. And all their chatter in relation is dull yet harmless conversation. I locked myself within my den, and with a yawn took up my pen. But sustained labor made me ill, and nothing emerged from my quill. Once more devoted to idleness and burdened by bareness of the soul, I strove to own the thoughts of others, a laudable and noble goal. But all my books seemed never-ending. I read them without comprehending what boredom, gibberish, pretense, no principles or common sense. All that was old was out of date. The new had nothing to relate. So over the whole dusty set, I draped a dark burial blanket. I write of simple, charming, yet important things, of what each youthful daydream brings. My love's a form of love old-fashioned, love hardly possible today. Only a poet mad with passion is able still to love this way. I've just one goal, one source for dreaming, one everlasting grounds for grief. And not the bitter chill of distance, nor scholarship, nor revelry, nor foreign girls' glittering beauty can cool my heart's incessant fire. While still a boy, a tender spirit, I witnessed Olga's childhood games. Protected in our deep and shady woods, beneath her parents' gentle gaze, she blossomed in her charming ways, a lily blooming in the vale. In densest valleys, all alone, to bees and butterflies unknown. How foolish it would be to spoil his blissful infection. Without my help this phase will pass. But meanwhile let him enjoy life, believing in the world's perfection. Youth is a fever, let's allow its senseless rants and raves for now. But Lenski, am I not allowed to glimpse this Phyllis that delights you still? This subject of your pen and rhymes and tears, present me to her if you will. Here's my guess before having met them. Listen and admit that I'm right. It's clear they're Russian at first sight, as guests will feast on country jam, discuss whether the weather's wet or fair. I'm sure the time will pass tranquil and pleasant, other neighbors perhaps present, evenings spent in slow discourse, routine of course, but please present me still. Youthful life's first ecstasies, pondering her provoked his lyre to fervent reverie. Her sky blue eyes so free from guile, her golden curls delicate smile, a portrait positively pleasing. I too once found it quite appealing. But let us now portray her older sister. This second girl was named Tatiana. She lacked her sister's fresh rosy toe to catch and pull all eyes to her alone. Shy and silent, sad and tearful, wild while remaining fearful. Amongst her family it appeared that she by strangers had been reared, and though a child she nonetheless did not delight in child's play. Alone in silence she'd remain beside the window through the day, but pensiveness her only pleasure, commencing from her cradle days, embellished all her rural leisure by bringing dreams before her gaze. My husband at the time was still my fiancé. Against my will, alas, it was not my intended, but someone else for whom I pined. A man whose looks and soul and mind I found inspiring and more pleasant. But I was led up to the altar, nobody asked what I desired. They brought me then to this estate, and for my fate I sorely cried. I tossed about in violent grief, intending to divorce my spouse. But then I started keeping house and grew accustomed and contented. For heaven's granted us this gift that habit substitutes for bliss. I used to write in maidens' albums, then signed in blood quite fervently. a sing-song voice, I called Praskovia, Sherry, Pauline. I laced my corset very tightly, pronounced Russian and as lightly as in French and through the nose, but soon I gave up every pose. The corset albums, Princess Lena, the tender rhyming notebooks too, I quite forgot, soon I was through with calling Akolka. Selena began to wear, when I came down, a nightcap and a dressing gown. Sincerely and wore his dressing gown to dine, and thus we lived, grew old together, till he at last was looking down into his coffin's open portals, which closed around him newly crowned. He died while resting after labor, mourned over much by friend and neighbor, by children and by faithful wife, far more than most who part this life. To make your acquaintance, I've been meaning to drop by for some time. I've been your neighbor since my uncle died, too busy with the estate to call until this time. Olga, how have you been since last night? Or don't you remember? Since then I've waited for the night to day quite nicely with Tatiana. The day seemed to last. I don't see why you're carrying. Have I told you how your smile? You told me yesterday and the day before. I read in a place like this. Walks, it's not so bad. But don't you tire of doing the same things each day? I'm tired of this place, though I've only been here that you feel that way. But I guess you'll change your living as time goes on. inside. Look for the things I cannot hide. While I was gone, I'd sit watching the tide, and I'd write, you alone were my light. I could feel you there by my side, helping me find the sublime. Now it's time. Now soon will you be my bride. Now the world begins to shine for our lives. Fate willed it through the divine. From the day you were born, you were mine. My earth, my sun, my stars in your eyes. You're everything that's mine. I can't sleep, Nanny, it's stifling. Open the window, sit by me. What's wrong, Tatiana? Life's dull and trifling. Let's talk about antiquity. About what? Before I was able to recollect many an ancient fable, tales of evil ghosts and lore, of princesses and maids and more. But now my memory has darkened, now I've forgotten all I knew. A sorry state, Tanya, it's true, I get confused. But tell me, Nanny, once even you were young, I know. Were you in love then long ago? Nonsense, my world was quite another. We'd never even heard of love. Why, at the thought my husband's mother would have sent me to the Lord above. How did you come to marry Nanny? the will of God, I guess. Your Vanya's younger, I was told, and I was still only 13 years old. The matchmaker called on my family for 2 whole weeks without resting till Father finally gave his blessing. I wept then bitterly with fear, and crying they untwined my plate. Then led me to the churchyard gate and introduced me to a foreign family. But you aren't listening to me. Oh, nanny, nanny, my heart aches. I'm sick and so unhappy. I'm on the verge of violent weep. Dear girl, God hold you in his keeping. You must be ill, Lord help us all. Just tell me what you need, my doll. I'll sprinkle you with holy water. You're burning hot. I'm not unwell. I'm in love, dear. Oh, can't you tell? I'm haunted day and night by visions, spectral dreams of him. Each summer day's lush scenery in secret accent speaks of him. Go away, nanny, leave me now, but first give me some pen and paper. And I'll lie down soon, just leave the taper. Good night. I write you this candid confession. What else is left then to declare? And it may be your inclination to torment me without a care. But if my helpless situation inspires sympathy for my woe, you will not leave me on my own. Why did you ever have to call on us in our forgotten village? I'd not have known you then at all, nor known the anguish of your image. Perhaps when time had stifled all my silly childish dreams, I might have been a good spouse, fulfilled wifely duties virtuously, and been a kind and caring mother. Another, no, there's not another in this whole world that I could love. Heaven decreed it, I am yours. It's written in the stars above. it not you, dear apparition, shrouded in darkness that I see? Did you not press close to my pillow to whisper gentle ecstasy? Who are you, angel of salvation, deceitful devil of temptation? Respond and cast my doubts away, for this may all be vain illusion, an innocent heart's fantasy, while fate bestows some sad conclusion. So be it then, I trust my life and fate to your protection. I freely weep before you, rely on and pray for your protection. Imagine I am on my own, imprisoned, I'll die all alone. My heart awaits you, one quick glance could grant my soul another chance. I close, I dare not to reread, I'm dazed with shame and fear. But I trust your integrity, and boldly in it I'm confiding. sublime, because it's in your mind, giving you the right to an understanding. What you know now, nothing's gonna ever be the same. Why are the monsters singing? Why are the monsters calling? Do you know what they are asking for? Do you know why they are hollering? I think I see the answer to my questions. Tell me, would you like some intervention? Why are you singing? She's mine. What are you calling? She's mine. Tell me what you are asking for. Tell me why you're hollering. She is the answer to my question. A single line of intervention to make my mind of her invention. She's mine. She's mine. She's mine. She's mine. She's mine. My pet, it's time to rise. But up you are, my early bird. Last night you scared me, pretty child. But thank the Lord you seem much calmer now. Oh, nurse, a favor, a petition, my darling, anything you choose. But don't suppose, please, no suspicions. But Nanny, can't you see, oh, don't refuse. Please send your grandson with this letter. Have him deliver it to, oh, our neighbor, to that one you know. Instruct him not to utter a word of explanation or my name. To whom, my dear, oh please explain. We have lots of neighbors after all. How slow you are at guessing, Nanny. But dearest heart, I'm old. My soul, my mind's grown old. My brain sometimes gets muddled. There was a time when I was sharp, when just the master's least suggestion. Oh, Nanny, that is not the question. You're still not understanding me. Now here's a letter, can't you see? It's for Onegin. Well, don't be angry, you know these days I'm not so clever, but I will surely take the letter. But once again you're pale, my child. It's nothing, Nanny, do not fear. Just send your grandson, please, my dear. You wrote to me, do not deny it. I've read the words, the full confession. Your trusting soul's unsullied passion, quite offered up without condition. Your candor quite appeals to me, excites long lost and dormant feelings inside this shell that's long been heartless. But I don't wish to praise you now. If I desired to have a home, restrict my freedom with a wife, to be no longer all alone, embrace a future family life, then none but you would be the bride that I'd position at my side. You'd be the one that I would choose. We'd be as happy as we could. But I'm not made for joy and rapture. My soul is alien to bliss. In vain would be your sweet perfections when joined to my unworthiness. I'd love you for a little while. Once used to you, my love would die. you'd start to weep, but bitter crying would fail to touch this lifeless heart, a heart you'd turn still more morose. So see what life for us would look like. What in the world is more distressing than households where a woeful wife laments a worthless mate throughout a dreary, bitter, lonely life, where her glum husband, ever knowing her worth, yet cursing fate and going about all angry, sullen, rude, all selfishness in attitude. To dreams and youth there's no returning. My soul now nothing can renew. My love is as a brother's and should always be concerning you. Listen to me without vexation. Young girls always find consolation. You'll love again, but you must learn to exercise more self-control. Not all will understand you so, and innocence can lead to woe.